Hello YouTube, this is Mac94 here, and this is my opinion on the new Mewtwo form. Now, if you haven't seen the new Mewtwo form, which I'm pretty sure pretty much all of you have, I'll put a link in the description to its Cerebi / PokeJungle page about it. If you don't like clicking links, just type it Mew3 or Mewtwo's new form in Google and it'll be the first thing that comes up. So yeah, now it was last Wednesday, I think, they leaked a new movie poster for the new Genesect versus Mewtwo movie, which I've already said I'm so hyped for. Anyway, and in the poster they had Genesect, the red Genesect, posing, and behind him, where usually stood Mewtwo in the other posters, there stood a new Pokemon that looked very similar to Mewtwo, but his tail was on the back of his head and his feet were a little different, and he looked a little more like altered, kind of. A little more, yeah, altered. That's a good word for it, altered. And a lot of people were freaking out, pretty much, saying like, hey, this might be a new Mewtwo form. This might be a whole new Mew3 we've been hoping for since Generation 1, or 2 really. And a lot of people were saying it was fake. I was in the boat saying that it was fake, because just by the look of the picture, something seemed very off with it. Maybe his feet were missing. That might have been like, there might be like a first print of the poster and they just didn't add it in yet. Something about Genesect looked kind of off. Looks like it had like a glare on it, which shouldn't really be there, considering I don't really think the poster would even really be printed out yet, which is kind of weird. And I wasn't hoping it was fake. I was just, kind of on the fence. I was just kind of, I was just thinking it was. I was thinking, hey, if it's real, okay, that's fine, but I'd rather it not be. But I wasn't hoping it was fake. I actually kind of liked the idea, kind of, but I was leaning more towards it being fake. But then that Saturday, the Pokemon Smash, or Pokemon Sunday, whatever it's called, revealed their big announcement about a new Pokemon that they were going to reveal. They announced it the Saturday before, or Sunday for Japan, and it was Mewtwo, the Pokemon we saw in the poster. And so many fans raged about this. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, so many fans were like, you tell us that there's going to be this huge news, and have like 3 different question marks, and saying that there's going to be this huge Pokemon X and Y news, yet they only tell us something that we already knew. And it was a Mewtwo evolution, clone, entirely new Mew3 Pokemon, a new form. I don't know. Well, I know now, but and I was just thinking, wow, that thing actually existed. Sweet. I mean, I didn't really care either way. I mean, it was nice to see it there, but I mean, I'm not saying I'd rather it not be there. It was just kind of a shock to that's what they announced. I was hoping for more, but it was okay with me. Now, for an entire week, fans were speculating. I was speculating, not hoping that it wasn't a new form, but a lot of fans were just saying, I really hope it's not a new form. I hope it's Mew3. I hope it's not an evolution. Mewtwo will never be the same again. That's the main thing that bothered me about the fans. They were raging about saying, don't touch Mewtwo. He's perfect. He's my favorite legendary ever. If you give him a new form, or if you give him evolution or touch him at all, I'll never look at him the same again. He'll lose all credibility. I'll lose all respect for him. But like, why? why would Mewtwo having a new form cause you to lose all respect you had for Mewtwo? I mean, he's a 15-year-old Pokemon. Yeah, you're gonna lose respect for him just for one form that you don't even have to use. That's the main argument I'm gonna put in this video. Like, if you don't like the fact that they messed with Mewtwo, if you really don't think that if you really think this Mewtwo form is gonna ruin Mewtwo for you, then just don't use it. I mean, people, seriously, who cares if it's a new form? It's probably gonna have some really crazy way that you have to get it to its form, like some item, something with trading, maybe something like some move you have to give him. But if you don't like the form, then just don't use it. Don't give him the item. Don't trade him. Don't teach him that move. I mean, I don't see what the problem is. I mean, and a lot of people are saying, hey, you're just not butthurt because you're not from Generation 1. Yellow was my first game. I love Mewtwo. The first movie was probably my favorite movie ever. I mean, except maybe the third one. Yeah, they're tied in my eyes. But I mean, I love Mewtwo, but this form isn't gonna ruin him for me. I don't know if I'm the only fan who thinks that, but I just don't see why Mewtwo having a new form has to ruin the most epic legendary ever. I mean, I guess when I say it like that, it makes a little more sense, but I just don't get it. That's just my opinion, I guess. But, I mean, if you really think about it, they've been touching Mewtwo a lot over the years. They've given him a lot of new moves like Aura Sphere, Psycho Cut, Psy Strike, Power Swap, Guard Swap, which are really stupid moves. I don't know why anyone even use them. I don't even know what they do. I completely forgot what they do. But yeah, they've been giving him new moves and stuff this whole time. I don't see what the problem is, really. I mean, yeah. I mean, if they've been giving him new moves and making him better, what's stopping this form from making Mewtwo that much more epic, other than the design that pretty much looks like a mesh between Mew and Majin Buu, which a lot of people are comparing them to. Yeah, like, you probably already know this, but a lot of the fans are saying that Mewtwo looks pretty much identical to, like, the third form Frieza or something, or a form of Frieza. I don't remember which one. And then this form of Mewtwo looks a lot like Boo from Dragon Ball Z. And a lot of people are saying, like, hey, maybe in Pokemon Z they're going to have another Mewtwo form that looks exactly like Cell, which I think would be very funny. I could actually kind of see that happening, really. I kind of want that to happen now. But it's probably not. They're only just give them one form. Unless they do have, which is a possibility, I guess, have one form for X and one form for Y, which, again, is very unlikely. I don't see why they would have two different forms, two different version mascots, I guess you can kind of say. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And, well, I mean, back on track. What makes this form, what's stopping this form from making Mewtwo that much better? Like, what if Game Freak is touching Mewtwo so they can make Mewtwo what he was originally supposed to be? The strongest Pokemon in existence. That's why Team Rocket even invented Mewtwo. Well, like, did Team Rocket head up that job, or did Giovanni just come in? I don't remember exactly what happened in the first part of the movie. I just know Giovanni, kind of caught him, I guess, or captured him. yeah, like they made him so that he can be the ultimate Pokemon. And if he ever since Generation 3, he's been his 680 base stat total, which is amazing, has been either matched or even passed by so many other Pokemon, including Kyurem, Dialga-Palkia, Giratina, Kyurem has 670, I think, Arceus, and pretty much every other version mascot you can think of, including Rayquaza, Deoxys? Nah, Deoxys didn't. But yeah, there's so many other Pokemon that have passed or matched Mewtwo's base stat total. Maybe this Mewtwo will have stats even greater or even matching that of Arceus, which I really want to happen because I don't really like Arceus that much. You might have remembered that if you saw my legendary Pokemon video. You would know that I don't really like Arceus or the god Pokemon, like the god of time, the god of space, the god of everything. I just don't like that, how they had to have a god. I mean, if they're gonna introduce the god Pokemon, they should have done that when they knew Pokemon was coming to an end, which I hope only happens in the very distant future, like 30 years from now. That would be amazing. Like 30 years. That's what I'm predicting to happen. If it does stop at all, which is very unlikely, considering Mario's gone for at least 25, 30 years, at least that long. So yeah, I mean, if Mewtwo can surpass Arceus, that would be just the most amazing thing ever. Give him like 200 base special attack, 180 base speed, 150 base attack, pretty frail defenses, I guess like 80 defenses and maybe 80 HP. I think that adds up to at least 720. Yeah. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that adds up to at least 720, or pretty close to it. And if it can surpass if it can surpass at least Black and White Kyurem, I'm happy. Or the only reason I wouldn't be happy about this new form is if it doesn't change Mewtwo at all, like the Keldeo resolution form. Like, why did they even have a resolution form if it didn't change Keldeo at all, except give him a move that is really pointless if you ask me? It was 85 base damage, and it doesn't even have 100 accuracy. It has its effect, side effect is the same as Psy Strike and Psycho Shock. I just don't get that. If Mewtwo's form is like Keldeo's, I won't lose all faith in Mewtwo. I still love Mewtwo. I just won't like this form. But again, I won't care because I won't use it. See, it's like that. Just as I said, if you don't like the form for various reasons, then forget the reasons and just don't use it. That's what people need to realize. If you don't like the form, just don't use it. I don't know how many times I need to say that until people get that in their heads. And probably the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is, how do you think Mewtwo is going to get his new form? Like, I'm thinking they might expand on the move Psy Strike, or Psycho Break as it in Japan. Like, they gave him that move in Generation 5. Probably just so that he can use it in the movie, which I'm really looking forward to, him using that move in the movie. I really want to see how they can do that, where they make it look, which he might have used it in the trailer, I don't know, but just the different psychic attacks, they all look kind of the same to me. They'll probably specifically say in the movie that's Psycho Psy Strike, just to let us know that's the new move. But if maybe once he learns Psy Strike, he changes forms. Or maybe he'll learn it earlier and then if you teach him Side Strike, he changes forms, and if you delete it, then he goes back to regular Mewtwo, and you can teach it to him again to change his form. It's, something to do with that move. But if it's not that move, maybe something with, like, some item you have to give him, which is probably the most likely case, considering that's how pretty much every other form happened except for Deoxys, I think. Yeah, except for Deoxys. I think every other form has something to do with some item you had to use or give him. Another option that I think is possible is trading between X and Y, which is very unlikely, but it could happen. Or maybe, like, you combine Mewtwo with some other Pokemon to do that, which a lot of people are saying that X and Y might have something to do with genetics, so that's possible. Unlikely, but possible. So yeah, put in the description how you think Mewtwo will change its form. Wait, did I ever actually say my opinion of the new Mewtwo form? I don't really think I did. That's kind of the whole point of this video, isn't it? Well, if I didn't, I'm gonna reiterate. I don't hate the Mewtwo form. Like I said, the only reason I'll hate it is if he doesn't change stats or anything. I don't hate the form. I would rather it be a Mew 3 or New Mew, whatever they want to call it. But I don't hate the form. I really don't care that much about it being a new form. I mean, like I said, like, if it's bad, I just won't use it. I mean, yeah, that's about all I can say. I don't hate it. I mean, wow, I keep repeating myself. Yeah, it's just my opinion. If you hate it, please leave a comment as to why you don't like it, and give a reasonable explanation, not just it looks silly, or it has a tail on the back of its head. That's probably the only reason why design-wise, I don't get it. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I don't get it. Or don't just say that. Give actual reasons why you don't like this new. And say if you don't. Say if you agree with me that if you don't like it, just don't use it. Please comment on that too, because more people need to realize this. So yeah, rate, comment, wait a minute. I just realized something. Well, I realized it at the end of my last video. I've been saying rate, comment, subscribe ever since my first video, or probably second video. But the 5-star rating system went away about a month and a half or so after my second video. So yeah, I've been saying that for over 2 years. I really need to change up my exiting, my end greeting thing, because yeah, try comment, like, subscribe, something like that, because the like system, I don't really understand. I like the rate system a little better, but anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Bye.